All right, welcome back to 100 Answers to 100 Questions on how to build my business from $1 to 100 million or anywhere between or a little bit beyond. This is an interesting question. The question is actually about ups and downs, and it goes like this. How do I manage both the actual and emotional ups and downs as a leader? Is there a way to prevent them or to mitigate them? And that's a really good question. It's generally the type of person who's gone through this. It's an experience question, right? So there are 4 things that I will give you on this that I think are very useful. The first is you have to have a routine. Order brings peace, and peace can bring prosperity. But disorder and chaos cannot bring prosperity. They cannot bring peace. You just can't have anything with that. What happens here is, and I'm going to give you all 4 of these, because I'm going to intermingle them. The first thing is routine. Second thing is you have to have hope. And the next one is you need to have resolve. And the last one is you have to live a good life. So they come together. Your routine is how you live a good life because it strengthens you and gives you hope. So for example, what happens is you're going to have a constant battle with yourself. And whether or not you see this as actually a spiritual battle, which I happen to do, I see it a natural and a spiritual battle. It doesn't matter if you see it the way I do it. You'd experience this, whatever you believe the source of it is. But you're going to have that version of yourself saying, don't do the hard work, take the easy path, do the wrong thing. And that version of yourself, no, do the right thing. Just simply on exercising. I don't feel like it. I don't want to do it. Don't do it. You don't need to. You can do it tomorrow. It doesn't matter. Oh, you should do it. If you don't, it's going to be a problem. Get going, get going, get going. Whichever one of these voices you listen to more, you become subjected to that voice. You become under the authority and control of that voice. So what happens is you say, don't work out. Okay, I'm not going to. And you don't work out. You're one day weaker. You're literally physically one day weaker. You're one day mentally weaker, and you've started to establish a very dangerous thing, and it's the beginning of a vice. You go to the next day, you don't do it. You're physically 2 days weaker now. You're mentally weaker. You are 2 days closer to a vice. 30 days in, you have a vice. You are definitely not in shape. Your body would feel it way harder. You've established a habit, and you also know what voice you're going to listen to. The same is true in the opposite. If you actually hear that voice that says, I should work out, and you do work out and you go for it, you are one day physically stronger, you are one day mentally stronger, and you're going to be able to do the right thing, you're going to follow through, and you are now subject to that voice because you have built the opposite of a vice. You have built a virtue and a habit, and that allows for good behavior. The other thing this does is it brings hope to you. So your business, I always remind people that leadership is like being stoned to death by popcorn. Okay, if you expect to be a leader and wake up and go to some fancy office every day and have people knock down the door and say, hey, here's a great thing that's happening and a great tie, it's just going to not work. Okay, what's going to happen is people are going to go problem, 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 solve, problem, problem. Your problems are your friends. Not that we want to go out and create problems for ourselves, but that without problems, we're not relevant. The reason you have your job is because there's a problem. There's a need for a product or a service. And that's a problem. There's a need for more people, so that's a problem. Get more people. They need to be trained. That's a problem. You need to be organized. That's a problem. You need to raise money. That's a problem. These problems are why you're significant. So we should embrace the fact that we have problems and then build a routine. The person who wakes up and operates emotionally, they just follow their emotions wherever they have, they're going to fail. So you have to wake up and you have to begin discipline and say, at these hours, this is how I start my day. I start my day with peace. But best way to start your day. If you wake up and you roll out of bed looking at your phone, it's a disaster. Start your day gathering your mind, getting yourself centered into the place that you need to be so you can accomplish good things. You create literally that environment and great things are going to begin to happen. Now you say, I start my work day at this time, and you commit to it. In these hours, I do these first things. And it shouldn't be checking email. Your job title is not email checker or Facebook checker or LinkedIn checker. That's not your job. Your job is to do something substantial. I call it TTP in the AM. Influence, talk to people in the morning. You influence people to get things started. That's the best way leaders do things, is they influence people in the morning. Okay? You're going to have people on your team, influence them, get their heads right, get them moving in the right direction, then deal with the other strategies. Because frankly speaking, if you get their heads right, they're going to deal with the strategies themselves, and you've got things happening. So set in a routine and follow that routine, because that consistency makes you more predictable as a leader, and predictability for a leader mentally, emotionally, and strategically is a very, very good thing. So you build in routine. Routine provides hope. Why? Because when you have routine, you start to make progress. And progress is one of the most important measurements to inspire people. There's all sorts of things that inspire people. When people recognize progress, good things happen and they have hope for the future. The next thing is resolve. What is resolve? Basically, it's a fight. That's really what it is. And the reason I don't say positive attitude is positive attitude isn't really a fight. I mean, positive attitudes aren't really what make the world go round. I mean, I like them. They're good. But they're really not the key to success. You don't have two soldiers in a foxhole when a third one goes down going, you positive? Yeah, I'm positive. Let's go. That doesn't happen. But you have resolve. Okay, resolve looks like Rocky in the 15th round. It doesn't always look happy, but it moves forward. It's willing to take a punch and give one. So you need to go and fight against, by the way, it's not the whole world is a fight, and it's not conspiring against you and everyone is your battle, but you're fighting against mediocrity. You're fighting against laziness. You're fighting against quitting, So you got to get up and fight with resolve. When you're resolute, you get things done. Doesn't always look positive, but it moves the needle. And the last thing is live a good life. I'm telling you, if you want the ups and downs to go away in your business, you've got to live a good life. If you do not live a good life, you're hard to be around. People don't like people who don't live good lives. Generally speaking, there might people who live equally bad lives as them might like to be around them. But for the most part, they're not attractive. So live a good life. What does that mean? It means this. Start in your own world, your own heart of peace. Be honest, forthright. Okay, be trustable, be loyal. Do the things that matter that way. Start in your own life. You're going to make mistakes. This isn't about, you had to have been perfect in your life. Maybe you've been horrible at this point. Or maybe you're, 80% there. Fine, just keep moving there. Get to the place where you're living a great life. Okay? You are honest. Dishonest people don't like honest people because they remind them that they're not honest. So they lash out at them and they usually blame them and they accuse them. Lazy people accuse other people. It's always what they do. Okay? You're going to take these negative reflections about yourself and you're going to project them on others and you're going to create ups and downs like crazy in your business. Live a good life. It's that simple. Here's one of the ways you recognize people are making excuses. They want to go to Africa to feed the children, but they're going to watch people in their own home starve and they're going to walk over their starving neighbor. Now, I'm not saying nobody should go to Africa to feed people. I absolutely think that's an awesome idea. However, if you're the person who walked over your family member who's starving and walked over your neighbor to go to Africa, you probably just did it for the Instagram or the Twitter or the Facebook moment so people can think you're amazing. It's called the meter, the mile, and the marathon. If you're willing to run a marathon, but you're going to skip the meter or the mile, it's probably not actually a marathon. It's the illusion of a marathon. I don't trust people who say I can run a marathon, but won't run a meter or a mile. If you show me you're running a meter and a mile, then I think it makes sense to do the marathon. Otherwise, I just think it's smoke and mirrors. So live a good life. Bring peace in your home so you can bring peace to your neighbors, so you can bring peace to the workplace. Then you can bring peace to further places. If you start chaos here, you want chaos there. People who want chaos in the streets, they have chaos in their own lives. You cannot have a prosperous business that doesn't have ups and downs if you can't take care of your own self. Be honest. Seek what is true about you. Seek what's true about others. Seek what's true about the circumstance. And if you build in that routine, you have hope, you have resolve, you get to live a good life, you've absolutely, without a question, diminished the amount of ups and downs that you're going to have.